Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Dana, and today we're going to move through a full body stretch and lengthen class. What you'll need, if you have it, is a strap. A yoga strap will work like this one, or if you have a TheraBand that's stretchy, that's going to be great as well. A ball. So if you have a Pilates ball, you can deflate it quite a bit like mine. If you have a towel, you can roll that up, fold it up, roll it up. You'll create a nice cylinder to move over. If you don't have a towel or don't have a ball, you can grab a pillow and that will work just as well. Okay, we're gonna get started on our back. Meet me there. Coming to your back with your knees bent, your feet flat, resting your head, softening the shoulders and closing the eyes. Bringing the hands on top of the abdomen and really slowing down the breath. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale in through the nose, expanding the belly up into your hands. And on the exhale, you're going to soften out the mouth, letting it go. And again, breathing in, expanding the front of your belly, the back of the belly, the side of the belly out in a three-dimensional breath. And then exhale slowly out the mouth, letting it go. One more time. See if you can inhale for 5 counts, nice and slow. 2, 1, and slowly release for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Move the hands up to the rib cage so that the hands can rest around the ribs or right on top. Breathing into the hands here. So the rib cage is going to expand front, side, back to back, just like you did with the belly. And then exhale slowly out the mouth. Again, let it go, nice and easy, nice and slow. Moving with your breath, again, breathing in, connecting to your inhale, expanding on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. And we connect to our breath so we can get just a little deeper into our muscular length and connection once we start to move. So taking the time now to find that deep, expansive breath moving through you. Beautiful. When you're ready, open the eyes, hug the right knee into the chest. Squeezing that right knee into the chest, just give it a nice deep squeeze, releasing the back of your pelvis into the floor. Beautiful. Circling the knee with your hands, releasing again even more into the hip socket, warming up the hip socket, seeing if you can release any tension of the jaw, the neck, or the throat. And then reverse the circle, take your time with this, good. The hands are doing all the work here, your leg is nice and floppy. Good. You're gonna take a pause, you're just gonna start to circle that ankle, mobilizing through the foot. So taking your time here to just feel the foot, warming it up, and then reverse the circle. Moving slowly with intention. Good, and then release the leg, the foot right back to the mat. Take a pause, inhale, soften the shoulders. Exhale, draw the left knee into the chest. Give it a nice squeeze, flexing at the hip deeply. Pressing down into the right foot for some stability, and then you're just going to start to circle that knee. Letting the leg circle deeply into the pelvic half. Releasing any gripping, any holding that you might have in that hip. And then reverse your circle, take your time. Again, your arms are initiating the circle, the leg is following along for the ride. Good. And then pause and center, begin to circle the ankle just like you did on the other side, warming up the foot, warming up the metatarsals, the joint of the ankle, and then reverse. And just take your time finding that easy foot. Good. And then when you're ready, place that foot back down onto the mat. Good work. Grab your yoga strap, any prop that you have that will mimic a yoga strap, and you're going to take your right ball of the foot on the yoga strap. You're going to reach that right leg up to the sky, and then you're going to bend those elbows so that they can rest on the mat. Now my strap is quite short. Hopefully yours is a bit longer. So you're going to have to give yourself a little bit of tension to stay right there in your leg extension. Once you're there, notice, are you rounding in your lower back? I want you to see if you can look for a neutral curvature in your spine and let the leg reach a little bit away from the body if that's necessary. That's totally fine. See what you need today. Hold it there. Breathe into the stretch. You're reaching the toes back to you, the heel up to the ceiling, grounding into the back of the pelvis. And then when you're ready, you're just going to begin to point the foot and flex. And again, so my yoga strap is quite short, but if you have a longer one, ideally your elbows are staying grounded. But most importantly, we're warming up the foot, the ankle, the toes. So take your time with this. Just moving with that resistance of the strap, of the band. Open the throat for 2. And for 1. You're going to hold that flexion of the foot. Breathe into the stretch. Reach into the band just a little bit longer, actively stretching your hamstring. Good. Now stay with me. You're going to bend that right knee into tabletop. You're going to keep the tension in your strap as you bend the knee, and then exhale, extend the heel up to the sky without moving your femur bone, your upper leg bone. So that your femur stays just where it is, and you're really extending from your hamstring instead. And we're paying attention to our alignment as we move through this, so that we're not putting load into our lower back, we're not rounding into the lower back to extend the leg, which is quite common, quite easy to do. So just pay attention. How can you support your lower back a little more with your low abs? That's right, for 1. And reaching it out. Extend the leg, reaching it up. Hold it there. Good. Now I want you to keep reaching into your band. You're going to just start to externally rotate the leg. So your toes reach out wide, but it's initiated from the top of your leg bone. And then come back to center. Internally rotate. So now again, initiated from the top of the leg, you internally rotate, come back to center. And just move through those 2 spaces, so external and internal. And you can look at your toes. They're going to be moving out and then in a little bit. And ideally, our hip does not change with the internal and external rotation of the leg. So just becoming very stable and conscious about how our back is responding to our leg mobility. Last one, external. Last one, internal. Good. Come back to center. You're going to just slightly bring the leg across the body towards the left, getting a stretch through the outer glute into the length of the leg. Option to take both hands onto your strap so that you can just pull in the opposite direction. The leg goes across to the left. You're pulling to the right. If that feels good, stay with that. Another option is to take both sides of the band into your left hand and ground with your right hand into the hip. So both are good. See what feels best for you today. 2 more breaths. Really extend out that knee. No soft knees here. Breathe into your length. Last breath. Come back up to center. Both sides of the band come into your hand once again. Soften the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Slowly releasing your air. You're going to extend your left leg long on the mat. If that feels okay, flex the foot, press the heel down, hold it there. Always an option to keep the knee bent, foot flat on the mat. From here, you're going to draw the leg across the body. We're going to make a small circle. You're going to reach the leg down. You're going to reach the leg out to the right and then back to center. So just noticing as you move the leg in your circle, you're moving through your external and internal rotation, keeping the hips so quiet that they don't move at all on the mat. So really just noticing that the hips are square and the leg is moving. It's really getting into the hip socket here. Just 1 more in this direction. Moving slowly with intention. And then reverse, externally rotate, reach the leg long across the body and then back up to the sky. And this is really easy to start to rock and roll with the hips. So start to feel those low abs sliding back to the spine as you make these circles. And if you have a long band, you can try a big circle. You can really go for it, but only if the hips stay quiet and in center. Last 2. And last one. Breathing. Slowly bring the leg back to the sky, bend the knee. Take your strap to the side. We'll use it in a moment for the other leg, but hug that right knee into the chest. Give it a squeeze, flexing your left foot as if you're standing on the floor. Now without the strap, this is more of a challenge. See how this feels for you today. You're going to extend that right leg up to the sky. It can be a long lever, so towards 45 degrees, or up to the ceiling proper. See what you need, what's best on hip flexors. Point your toes. You're going to make now circles without the band, nice and easy, just like you did a moment ago. We're going to do 6 in this direction. You got 4. Breathe. Use your breath. Good. Reaching out the legs, stable through the hips. Challenging your core support as you move the leg, open throat. And last one. Moving slow, reach the leg up to the sky, reach even longer out the leg, press into your left heel, reverse. Hug belly to spine. See if you can keep the hips from twisting with the leg. It's a challenge. So it's not going to be perfect, but just pay attention to your stability. 2. And last one. Hug that knee right back into the chest. Beautiful work. Place the foot down. Bend your left knee. For just 1 breath, notice the difference between your right leg and your left. You should feel longer, more easeful in your right hip now. Beautiful. You're going to take that band and you're going to place it behind or underneath the left ball of the foot. So other side. Once you're there, extend the leg up to the sky. Now the leg does not have to go straight up. In fact, it's probably not going to. For most of us, our hamstrings are a bit too tight for that. So your leg's going to go towards 45 degrees so that you can feel neutral in your spine, so that you're not rounding in your back. Instead, soften the shoulders, just stay with the stretch. Hug belly to spine, ground into the back of the left hip. So actively stretching. We're not just passively reaching here. We're really connecting up through our core into our length. Last breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to point the foot and you're going to flex. And so you're just reaching the toes apart and flexing them back. And as we mobilize the ankle, it's a really nice time to notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, and if you can release that. For 4, beautiful. For 3, take your time with these, really waking up the foot. For 2. And last one, find your stretch, hold it again, just breathe, reaching out and away and plugging left hip back and down. Little opposition here, 1 more breath. Now keep reaching into your strap. You're going to internally rotate, just like we did on the other side. Your leg internally rotates, come back to parallel, externally rotates. Come back to parallel. So moving the leg without twisting the pelvis, without using any extra tension of the neck or the shoulder. So really connect to that twisting of your femur, your big leg bone here. Good. And you're going to keep breathing as you go. Let's do 2 more. Internally rotate, parallel, externally rotate, parallel. Last one. Good. Come back into center. Hold it there. Keep reaching into your band. Now you're going to space hold with your upper leg as you bend your knee into tabletop. Hold it there. Really reach wide into your left sitting bone, and then exhale, extend the leg up to the ceiling. And one side might feel tighter than the other, so just pay attention. You don't have to push it. You're really just finding your length and your connections. Reaching the knee into tabletop, reaching the heel up to the sky. And it takes some patience here to work with our hamstrings. They tend to get nice and tight. So just finding the range and working inside of that range for today. For 2. Good work. Reach up. And last one. Good. Hold it. We're going to stretch the leg across the body to the right. So option 1, the band comes into the right hand and you just take a pull, grounding with your left hand onto the hip. So that can be option 1. Option 2, you're holding on with your left hand and finding some resistance in the opposite direction. See what feels best for you in this stretch. We're going to hold it for 3 more breaths. Really reach out that knee. See if you can ground into your left hip. That hand can help you ground a little deeper. So we're stretching all the way out the heel, all the way back into the pelvis. For 2. Keep flexing and breathing. And for 1. Good, bring the leg back into center. Nice work, you guys. You're gonna lengthen that right leg long. Both sides of the band come into your hands. Flex your right foot. Press your right heel down. Really reach out and away with your left. Hug belly to spine. We're gonna move into our circles, nice and slow with our support. You're gonna externally rotate the leg, and then you're gonna reach it down through center, internally rotate, and back all the way up. And finding the ease in this movement, starting small, and resisting the urge to move in the back instead of the leg. So the hip is warming up deeply inside of hip socket. The leg bone is moving. Don't forget your breath. Last one, externally rotate, reach down, move through center, internally rotate, come back up, reverse, reach even longer, cross the body, reaching down. Externally rotate and reaching up, and move slow with control. You know that the next exercise we do not use the strap, so just find your support now so that you can have it even better in a moment in the next exercise. You got 2 more. Keep breathing, really nice. Open that throat. And last one, good work. Bring the leg back up to the sky. Really reach up into your strap. Hug belly to spine. Feel your length. Good. And then bend that left knee. Take the strap off to the side. Give a nice squeeze of your knee into your chest. Hugging knee into chest. Flexing the right foot. Wide through your pelvis. Breathe. Good. You can even make a little circle, letting any tension go. Good, exhaling out, hands come down by your side, soften your shoulders, extend that left leg up to the sky so it can be at a 45-degree angle. Find the range where you feel support. Flex your right foot, press your standing leg down. You're gonna make circles, you're gonna point the toe. As you reach out the leg, you're gonna see if you can keep the core supporting that leg mobility. So it can be small, it can be big, but really most importantly, it's connected. Good. You got it. Nice. Last one in this direction. And then reverse. And this side is so much harder for me. And you'll notice one side will feel easier than the other. Good thing just to note, don't have to change anything as we move today. Breathing, sending belly back to spine. Good. And last one. Bring that knee back into the chest. And then release the foot to the floor. Both knees are bent now, feet are flat. Take a breath here. Feeling that difference between left and right, now more even. Good, soften the shoulders, hug belly to spine. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, you're just gonna find the support of your low abdomen, lift your right knee into tabletop, and then your left knee to meet it. Connect your core, finding our length, reaching the right leg long to 45 degrees. So you're gonna hold it there, flex the right foot. Reach out your inner heel, you're gonna lower the leg down a little lower. And then you're gonna lower even lower, almost to a hover, and then lift the leg back up. Lowering down, lifting 3 inches up. Reaching out the inner heel, finding the ease of your throat and the back of your ribs. Really jumping into this today, but finding the size and the range that supports you. 2 and 1. Bend that right knee. Good work. Hug belly. Find your connections, and then reach your left leg long. Flex the foot. Again, you're gonna lower it down, hold it there. 3 inches lower, 3 inches higher. Reach out the heel, soften the shoulders, open up the throat, find your length. Good. For 4, keep breathing. For 3, easy shoulders. For 2, and for 1, bend that knee. Hug both knees into the chest, give a squeeze, and then both feet come back to the mat. Option to grab your squishy ball and place it underneath your pelvis for a little extra challenge. You don't need to use this for any of the exercises that we do here. So grab it if you have it, place it underneath your sacrum. I like it right above the butt crack area, so a little lower than underwear line usually, depends on your underwear. So find the spot that feels supported. Pause, press your pelvis down into your prop. If you have it, hug belly to spine. Inhale, back of the ribs are heavy. Exhale, lift your left knee and then your right knee into tabletop. Hug abdomen to center. So really hug it back. Reaching the right leg up to the sky, we're going to begin to bicycle. You're going to start to flex and point the feet. You should feel super connected to your length here, almost as if you were in water. You're making these circular movements, hugging belly back to spine, flexing and pointing the feet to find that mobility, that length, and that connection. Good, you guys. Keep flexing away and pointing in. Easy shoulders, open throat. No matter if you're on the ball or on the floor, you're finding your length. For 2. Good work. For 1, you're going to reverse. Reach out the heel, point the toes. So there's this feeling of resistance. Moving with your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And as we begin to move 2 legs at once, we're challenged by stabilizing our pelvis. We might want to rock and roll, and you're going to see if you can avoid that. You got 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Bring both knees back into tabletop. Stay with me if you can, or take a little pause. Squeeze the knees together. Both legs will lever halfway to the floor. Exhale, lift. A little bit more just to find our low abdomen, deep connection to our breath. I want you to inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. You got 4, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2, pressing down into the palms, opening up the throat. Last 1. Good, place 1 foot at a time back onto the mat. Big breath, let it go. You can rock the hips side to side, feeling the ease of those hip sockets. Big inhale, big exhale. One final thing here with our low abdomen and our long legs. So you're going to draw your left knee into tabletop, your right knee up to meet it. Again, connect your core, find your stability. Externally rotate now. So you're going to flex your feet, your knees go as wide as your armpits. You're in your little frog position. Once you're there, push your heels together a little bit more, and then point the toes to extend the legs. Once the legs are extended, open the legs as wide as your mat, squeeze your heels together. Bend the knees back into your frog. Option to just stay with your froggy and just move with the froggy instead. So option to open the legs, squeeze together and bend, or just stay with the frog. I'm gonna move through the opening and the closing with you if you'd like. We got 6 more. Extend the legs, open, squeeze the heels together, pull it in. Finding the length of your inner thighs, the heels connect, squeeze it in. And you'll notice if you bring the knees too far in, you're gonna round in your lower back. And for today, we're gonna avoid that. Your knees will go right over hips and stay there. Good. 3, beautiful work. Squeeze those inner thighs. Find your length. Really work that deep internal length as we move. Slow and controlled, last 1. Wherever you're at, come back into your frog, hold it there, hug belly to spine. Staying in your external rotation, you're gonna tap your right heel towards the mat. Exhale, squeeze the heels together to lift. Left heel will reach. Exhale, squeeze the heels together back and center. So different, we're focusing more on inner thighs here instead of when we're in parallel. But the same breath applies. Inhale, exhale. Good work. Inhale, exhale. If this feels like too much, make your external rotation a little smaller. Usually I have to do that anyway because I get too excited and really open up those inner thighs. So find a smaller external rotation and keep moving. Last set, you guys. Big inhale, big exhale. Big inhale, big exhale. Once you finish that, squeeze the knees together, round in your lower back, give your knees a little squeeze, let it go. Beautiful. Big inhale, big exhale. Placing one foot at a time back onto the mat, lifting up your pelvis, coming all the way down. Last thing on our back for today. Again, if you have the ball, grab it. If you don't, no worries. Place the ball in between the inner thighs or your towel. Hug abdomen to spine. We're gonna find our legs. Last little exercise on our back, so let's just make it count. Squeezing the inner thighs into the ball. Both of them squeeze evenly. Spread your feet apart on the mat. Make sure those feet are close to your butt, and then you're gonna hover the hips a few inches off the mat. Once you're there, I want you to connect to your core. You're gonna lift about 3 inches up and then hinge 3 inches down. Squeeze your ball, squeeze your prop. Little hinge up, little hinge down. Imagine your feet are dropping into your basement, or imagine your feet are dropping into sand. And even as you lower the hips down, the feet go even deeper into the sand, into the earth. So really practicing that connection of foot and glutes, hamstring and core. 2. On 1, you're going to keep the hips lifted, wide open sitting bones. We're not tucked under here. We're sort of in neutral. Squeeze the ball, release. Squeeze the ball, release. We got 8. Squeeze, release. Hug belly. Press into the palms. Open up the throat. So we're not overly tucked. We're not finding any arch. We're in neutral. Hug belly for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift a little bit higher and then hinge your hips straight down to the mat. Good work, you guys. Take the ball off to the side. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. When you're ready, you're gonna rock to your left side or your right side and then come onto hands and knees. We're almost there. Really focusing on the legs and our long extension. Coming down to the elbows, and the palms can press together or straight down into the mat. See what feels good for you. Soften the shoulders down the back. You're gonna bring those knees right underneath the hips, press into your shins. Hug belly to spine. When you're ready, I want you to tuck the right toes under, slide the right leg straight back. Make sure your weight isn't dropping back too far. We're straight on top of our elbows still. Hug belly to spine, connect to your core, the back of your ribs. Push into your left shin and point the toes to lift. Once you're there, you're gonna hold it. Feel that length of your leg out from the toes to the head. Good, you guys, little circles the size of a watermelon. Point the toes, connect to your length. Feel your shoulders drop down the back and your heart lift. You got it. For 3, for 2, for 1. Reach out the leg a little longer, bend the knee, flex the foot 90 degrees. Pulse and squeeze, pulse and squeeze. Imagine your heel could touch the ceiling as you squeeze. Low booty works, not your lower back. You got it. 5, 4, 3, find your core, 2, and 1. Lengthen the leg even longer. Stay with me if you can. Lower, tap down, exhale, lift. Lift your heart. Make sure those shoulders are broad and really feel your long extended leg. From your belly button to your toes, you're supported. Good. Breathe. 3, and 2. And last one, you're gonna hold it up there. Breathe, extend even higher. Just hold it for 5, 4. Can you lift your heart a little bit more? Feel the connection from your core to your toes. And 1. Bring the knee down underneath you. Find a beautiful child's pose. You deserve it. Toes together, knees apart. Nice, easy rock side to side. Your forehead can rest on the mat. Letting it go. And when you're ready, you're gonna come back up to hands and knees, coming onto your other side. So bringing your elbows right underneath your shoulders, palms either pressed together or straight down. See what feels good for you. Knees are right underneath your hips. When you're ready, draw those shoulders down the back, connect your ribs, connect your core. Tuck the left toes under, good. And then push into your right shin, extend the leg straight back. Hug belly to spine. Reach the leg straight up from the low glute, not the lower back. Good, making those circles the size of a watermelon, pointing the toes, but feeling how your core is deeply supporting you here. Good, exactly, that's right. Breathe. Point the toes, push into the right shin. Good. And then reach a little longer in reverse. So find that connection, feel that lift. You can gaze down at your hips. I'm always an advocate of just checking out what's happening in our lower body with our eyes so that we can see our alignment instead of just relying on feeling it, because sometimes that doesn't actually work. Good. And then you're going to reach a little higher, flex the foot. You're going to pulse the heel up to the sky, lift your heart. Easy to lose the head connection here. Think about how the head is lengthening off of the top of the spine. Again, make sure those hips are square. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay with me if you can. Point the toes, lift a little higher. Breathe into your length from your head to your toes. Point the toes, reach into the next room. Hug belly, connect your ribs. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. The knee comes down underneath you. Come back to hands and knees. You're going to send yourself into a plank. Soften your elbows, reach your left leg and then your right leg back. Hold it here. Bend your elbows but lift your heart. Lengthen out your heels. Really feel that extension. Bring your feet and your legs to touch. You're going to soften the knees and then squeeze to extend for 10. Squeeze to extend. Just nailing it home. Finding our legs, finding our length. Breathing into it. For 5, 4, connect your ribs a little deeper. Find your breath. Exhale to extend. 2, and 1. Hold it there. One more deep inhale and deep exhale. And then bring the knees down underneath you. And find your child's pose. Good work, you guys. Bring your head to the mat. Walk your hands to the right side. Thumbnails will touch, breathing into the left side body, expanding and contracting with your breath. Big inhale, big exhale. Finding the breath once again. If you lost it, that's okay. Just deeply connecting to the slow inhale and slow exhale. Walk your hands through center and over to the left side. Shoulders are soft, hips are heavy. Thumbnails are touching, breathing into your right side body, taking your time here to expand and contract through the ribs, through your breath. Big inhales, big exhales, letting it move. One more inhale, one more exhale here. And walking your hands back to center, walking the hands underneath the shoulders, rolling yourself up to sit, cross your legs or extend them long. Find a comfortable seated position. Take one hand on top of chest and one hand on top of belly. Lift your heart into your hands. Breathe into your length. Feeling the warmth and the length of your legs. Beautiful work today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.